In this video, I'm going to give you 3 of the most powerful psychology tips that have completely improved my trading over the past couple months that you can implement yourself today and see your trading improve very fast as well. And stick around until the very end of the video because the last point is the most important point that is really going to improve your trading quickly. I'm going to be dropping some crazy sauce in this video. And first of all, I want to start off by saying that I have lost hundreds of trades in my career. So I'm not selling you the dream of no losing months or you're going to get rich if you do this, because I know that you're probably very sick of hearing that from everybody else. And it seems like none of them really understand the trenches of trading. So I want to give you as much value as possible as someone who is slowly making the way out the trenches themselves now and only just starting to see consistency in their psychology and their trading. I'm not a guru. I'm not someone trying to sell you anything. I'm just like you. I'm tracking my journey. I'm sharing the progress and the lessons and things that might take you a couple of years to figure out if you don't hear it from me. So hopefully you find value in this, and let's get into it. So point number 1 is you need to practice every single day. Okay, so I know a lot of people say trading is about just turning up for an hour a day and then coming back and maybe tracking it and journaling later, right? But if you're still in the trenches of trading, you need to be practicing every single day. An hour to 2 hours a day of focus, intentful practice on your trading is going to improve it so much. And that comes from personal experience, because for a really long time, I never took practice too seriously. I just basically turned up and was on the charts every day, obviously putting in the hours and studying the charts. But only when I started to actually turn up and backtest every day for at least an hour, that is when I started to see significant improvements in my trading, because you're getting all these reps in. Like Alex Hormozy says, you only get better through the reps, right? If you're shit at something, you get better by doing so many repetitions that it becomes unreasonable for you to continue to be shit, okay? So you need to turn up and you need to practice every single day. I'm not just talking about going onto TradingView replay feature and replaying price and then going, oh yeah, I would have taken that. Oh, I would have taken that. Or I definitely wouldn't have taken that in a real life scenario, and altering the results that you're saving on like Google Sheets or whatever. I'm talking like real, actual backtesting, okay? And I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but I highly recommend FX Replay, because these guys, I've been using them for a couple months now, and I really wish that I had started using them earlier, because you can literally just go through years and years of data really quickly and just like practice over and over and over again. You don't have the ability to lie to yourself about what trades you would have or wouldn't have taken. Like you take it or you don't, right? And there is no changing the results. So you can actually see how are you going to perform. And now people will say, yeah, it's not like live, but I personally think it is like live. If you treat it like live trading and you take it very seriously, then you're going to get the results you would as if it was live, right? Me personally, I will get annoyed if I take a bad trade whilst backtesting. I'll still get annoyed. Like I still feel the emotions, because my emotions are no longer tied really to the money. It's more about, am I making the right decisions or not? And so if I still make the wrong decision, which obviously comes from a fear of losing, whatever, it still annoys me. But with FX Replay, you can't lie to yourself about that. So you're forced to learn. Whereas if you did like TradingView Replay and like was doing Google Sheets tracking like I was for years, then I remember I did backtesting on TradingView and I would track all my trades, and basically I had like an 80% win rate. And then I was like, right, it's time to go and do a challenge. And I pretty much just blew like 5 challenges in a row, because I had lied to myself about my results and didn't really have a strategy or know what I was doing, and just wanted to feel like I was better than I was and I was ready to go. But you need to practice every single day if you're a beginner. Even if you're not profitable yet, you need to be backtesting or practicing every single day. A couple of hours of focused, intentful study. Even if you go through for an hour and you don't find a single trade, cool, that's fine. The next day, even if you don't find a trade the next day, it's not about that, because even then you're practicing your patience, right? And then my rule is I backtest for an hour a day up until 2 losses. If I ever take 2 losses, backtesting, I call it quits because I know even then on backtesting, I'll probably start to make mistakes. And so if you start practicing every day, your results are going to be absolutely exponential. Like, trust me, my trading has improved so much in just the past couple of months from just turning up and doing 1 hour a day. I've learned so much about my strategy. I've learned so much about my psychology. I've learned so much about the mistakes that I repeat. I've learned so much about when my trades show up, what conditions are best for my strategy. So I had a strategy before, but then backtesting and practicing every day has allowed me to refine it so much that now I'm really confident in my own trading. Like, I feel so much more confident. And because I've got so many reps in, I'm starting to really feel like I'm in the flow of my strategy, my approach, my whole entire system. And so practicing every day has really improve my trading like it would in any aspect of your life. If you want to get better, you got to practice. And only when you're consistently profitable is when you can kind of chill on the practicing, because at that point you don't want to fry your brain out. Okay. But for now, if you're not profitable, you need to practice every single day. And that kind of leads on to my second point. Systemize your approach as much as possible. Create a process, have rules, and have a coherent approach to the markets. If you're just going in there without a written down plan or rules or things to look for, every day your trades are going to change on a day-to-day basis on how you're feeling or decisions you're making in the moment. Whereas if you take the time to really break down your approach into step-by-step things to do, for example, for me, it would be check the news first and foremost, then go through the charts from the monthly to the weekly to the daily to the 4 hour to the 1 hour, set alerts, look for this, look for that. These are the things that you need in order to be able to take a trade. And you need these conditions for it to be high probability, and have it all written out so that I know exactly every single day I'm looking for the same thing and I'm not just kind of winging it, right? Because for a long time I was just kind of winging it and I was trying to remember each day something would be a little bit different. But now I have a process I can follow. And when I'm unsure, I can look at it. I can read the steps that I should be taking. I can read what I'm supposed to be seeing in case I'm forgetting something or in case I'm not in the right mindset. It's all there. So it's like my second brain. I don't even have to think about it. I just check that. I'll go through it. And if it's not there, it's not there. And if it is, that is when you execute. But a lot of you are probably just turning up every single day with maybe 3 or 4 points on a checklist that you need to look for. But you really need to break down the whole approach. What are you doing before the markets? What are you doing as you get on the markets? You need to break it down into as much of a system and a process as possible. Like with any major business, there's systems and there's processes for everything. And the same goes for your trading. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to approach it like a business, and have a checklist of things you need to go through, have conditions for when you trade, have rules for when you don't trade, have a process for how you manage your risk. Because otherwise, if you don't have these strict rules in place and a process and a system, you're going to start winging it. You're going to start making emotional decisions. You're going to start taking trades based off whim and feeling like, oh yeah, this is a great trade. And then in hindsight, you look back and think, well, I shouldn't have taken that trade. It didn't follow my system, but it looked good, so I took it. And look, I'm still guilty of doing that sometimes, right? I'm not telling you that I'm better than you, but having a system and a process really makes it way easier to stop making those mistakes, okay? And you will cut out like 80% of your shit trades, and only through self-control and practice will you cut out all of the final shit trades, right? But even so, like last week I still took a shit trade, and you just got to learn from it, right? And then you can, whatever you learn from, you can put into your process to make sure you don't repeat it. So that's point number 2. Systemize as much as possible. Put it all into a trading plan. Have a process, have an entry checklist, have a high probability trade checklist. What do you want to see for the trading conditions to be high probability? Have rules, have risk management rules, have a section where you have points on when not to trade. For example, when it's not my full focus, or when I've eaten too much, or when I'm tired. These are situations where I just don't trade because I know that from experience I'm going to probably fuck up. And then I also have a whole section on just notes to read before I actually trade, just to remind myself, not to chase trades. There's always going to be another great opportunity. If you can put it all into like your second brain so you don't even have to think about it, then you can just read that every single day, and eventually it'll be second nature, and you'll stop taking the shit trades and you'll start taking the great ones. And that is where you'll find your edge. And the third and most important point, which leads on from both of these, is understand your statistics. For ages, I had no idea what my statistics were, because every time I would backtest on FX replay and go on a bit of a losing streak, I would then think, oh, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, my system's shit. Like, I was up 20%, now I'm down 10%. But recently, I've just decided, like, I just pushed through and I realized, hold on, that's just a drawdown period. And if I continue to turn up and take the great trades, I start to come back on the other side and start making profit again. And so I kept quitting, even on my FX replay when shit was getting hard. But actually, this time I decided to push through. And if you watch one of my recent videos, you'll have seen I was on like a 7 trade losing streak on my back testing. And then I continued to do exactly what I was doing before. And now I'm like up like another like 8%, 9%. And I ended up taking like 3 or 4 trades back to back that were winners. And I managed to do this by looking at my statistics. I noticed that I had a 45% win rate. Okay, so I went back and looked at old data and I was like, right, I've got around a 45 to a 47% win rate. And then I went on to an equity calculator, right? And I'll link one in the description for you below, where you can go and put in your win rate. You can go and put in your average percentage win and your average percentage loss. And you can calculate what your equity curve will look like, right? Over a period of 100, 200, 300 trades. And you can see what is your average drawdown? What are your average losses in a row? What is your average winning streak? And when I looked at that, I realized, oh, I can actually take like 8 losses in a row with this win rate. And it's completely normal. The amount of times that happened over like a period of like 250 trades was actually like crazy. And I was thinking, so if I just continue to do what I was doing, eventually, statistically, I should start to take winners again. And then over time, the profits will come, right? It's not about winning every single trade or winning one, losing one, winning one, losing one. Sometimes you can go on a bit of a drawdown and then have a couple of wins, and like it's just a larger dip and a larger upswing, right? But my point is, if you don't understand your stats, you can't then go into an equity calculator and kind of bring yourself back to earth by saying, oh, I can take 5 winners in a row, and then I probably will start to lose some, or I can take 8 losses in a row and then I'll probably start to win some. But if you know your stats, you can go and put that data in, and you can basically bring yourself back to emotional equilibrium by understanding that where you are at is normal according to your stats. And if you don't practice every day, and if you don't have a system that you can then combine them two things together to get your stats, right? Had I not practiced every day, and had I not refined my system and put it into a process and a clear approach, then I wouldn't have been able to find my stats. And then obviously using my stats, now I know I'm in a much more reasonable mindset when I'm taking losses, because I understand that according to my 45% win rate, I'm likely going to start winning again soon, or taking winning trades again soon, provided I stick to my system and don't go all emotional. And also, when you use this equity calculator, you can see, like, it gives you like loads of, it will run the system like 100 times and show you all the different scenarios that can play out. And sometimes it'll be like going up and then it will come down massively, and it will go up and then it will come down massively again, right? Before it takes off. And it's like, okay, what does your equity curve look like in comparison to that? Because being able to visualize what it potentially could look like, it helps you out when you start to see that you're going into drawdown on your actual trading account. And you can just see all these scenarios playing out, and it's super, super useful for your psychology. So these are actual practical tips that you can use to improve your psychology. It's not all just woo-wah, you need to be more disciplined, this, that, and the other. If you practice every day, if you systemize your approach as much as possible, and you understand your statistics, naturally your psychology is going to be way more tamed, because you understand your system. You know in yourself, based on your practice, that you have what it takes to be a profitable trader. You have the confidence to find winning trades and to have a profitable edge. This isn't me selling you the dream on how to fix your trading psychology with no substance to it. you can actually go and like implement this stuff today and improve your trading psychology, because naturally your psychology will get way better as you gather the proof that you are a good trader. You are who you think you are, who you want to be, who you say you are as a trader. You have a system, you have a really clear approach that you practice so many times, and you know your stats. All of that has really helped me improve my trading recently, and has really helped me keep my head in drawdown on funded challenges accounts, and has really helped me feel like I'm maturing a lot and developing a lot as a trader. And this is why I feel like I'm actually making my way out the trenches, because I actually put in the work every day to study, to practice, to systemize, to understand my statistics, and to just calm my psychology down and develop the ability to bring myself back to emotional equilibrium as much as possible, so I can continue to make the best decisions and follow my system to the highest degree. Okay. So if you want to sign up to FX Replay, I've got a affiliate link below. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but I will get commission if you do sign up with them. I want to be transparent because I'm a hustler. I'm like you guys. I want to make money wherever I can. So if you want to sign up for FX Replay, use that link. I'll appreciate it a lot. And also, guys, join my Telegram for insider information. Follow me on Instagram if you're a real one, because I want to get it to the point where women look at it and think, holy shit, how does he have so many followers? And finally, hit the subscribe button. We're on the journey to 100,000 subscribers. So if you want to be able to say I followed this guy from day one, hit the subscribe button right now. Appreciate you very much. Hopefully you took some value from this video. Please drop a comment below. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.